or battle. But I got to Canada, and gosh, they didn't like the war that much up there, and it was highly insulted.
Yeah.
So it was kind of hard at first. And it was also during those years when we lived there that the draft dodgers began to come across the border. And, oh, I thought it was terrible, you know, that they would do that. And, but gradually I began to kind of look at it from a different viewpoint too and wonder why the heck we were there and why these, especially when a couple of Grandpa's friends were killed that were young, you know, at the beginning and had gone in. Anyway, we began to change a little bit.
Yeah.
And
so do you remember the point where your opinion changed? Like, do you remember anything that triggered it, like them dying or?
Yeah, that was one of it. But it was just that I became more, for the first time in my life, being raised during World War II, you are extremely patriotic and your country can do no wrong. No, I mean, we are the United States of America. And you love my country. But suddenly I was able to look at it from a bit of a distance and to figure, wait a minute, why? And at the same time, I thought the hippies were just nuts. And I thought, you know, all these crazy people. And I'll tell you a story. When we went to a party at the University of British Columbia, because one of our friends was a professor there, and it was an evening party at the faculty club, and there had been a lot of protests in Vancouver at that time, and in came a bunch of hippies being led by this horrible looking creepy guy with long black hair, and they danced around the faculty club and they were waving an American flag, which was very upsetting to me and to Grandpa. And to my friend who was the teacher there, professor. And then they threw it on the floor, and they stepped on it, and scraped it, and kind of tore it, and bounced around on it, and shouted, and anti-war. And the guy's name was Jerry Rubin, who was a leader of the anti-war hippie movement. So I was very upset at that, you know. So it was very hard because I began to think, too, we ought to get out of there, but it was still my country.
Yeah.
And I was living in a foreign country. It was very hard.
So was Uncle Kevin, or which is Kevin Buckley, or Annie Buckley, my mom, involved in any sort of anti-war protests that you know of?
They were too little, I think, in those days.
Yeah.
And they were, what, I don't know, when we moved up there, he was just 10.